Good morning, students. Today's topic is countercurrent mechanism. Okay. So, what is countercurrent mechanism? It is a mechanism operates in the kidney for concentration of urine. So, concentration of urine is very important for maintaining the water balance. So, when there is excess water in our body, the kidney will form dilute urine. When the water is deficit in our body, kidney will form concentrated urine. So concentration of urine, in other words, it is conserving the water. So water is reabsorbed and water balance is maintained. So for the concentration of urine, we require two important factors. One is the ADH, that is anti-diuretic hormone. So this anti-diuretic hormone is secreted from the posterior pituitary, and this hormone increases the water reabsorption in the collecting duct. This is the first important factor. Second is the hyperosmolarity of the medullary interstitium. So medullary interstitium in the kidney, and this interstitial contains interstitial fluid, and the osmolarity of the medullary interstitium to be more, so that water absorption will be increased. So one is the antidiuretic hormone, which increases water reabsorption. Other one is the medullary interstitial osmolarity or hyperosmolarity, that is going to increase the water reabsorption. And the countercurrent mechanism helps in formation of high osmolar medullary interstitium. This we'll see in the next slide. The high osmolarity of the medullary interstitium, and this was created by loop of Henle. Okay, so loop of Henle by a mechanism called countercurrent multiplier. So the countercurrent multiplier is nothing but the loop of Henle, which act as the countercurrent multiplier, and this helps in the creation of the high osmolarity of the medullary interstitium. Second is the vasa recta. Vasa recta is a specialized peritubular capillary, and it contains a very little blood flow, and this helps in maintaining the high osmolarity of the medullary interstitium. So it is also called countercurrent exchanger. First we will see the countercurrent multiplier. What is the action of the countercurrent multiplier? So this countercurrent multiplier is nothing but the loop of Henle. So what is countercurrent actually? When there are two flow occurring in opposite direction, it is referred to as countercurrent. In kidney, the Henle loop in the nephron, the Henle loop has a descending limb and a ascending limb. So the flow of urine is occurring in opposite direction. Here the descending limb is going in downward direction, ascending limb is going in the upward direction. And the descending limb is permeable to water only. The ascending limb is permeable to solutes only. Okay. So ascending limb is of two portions are there, thin and thick. So thin ascending limb and thick ascending limb. For explanation purpose, we are taking ascending limb as a single loop, and here this ascending limb, especially thick ascending limb, is more permeable to solutes because of the presence of the transporters for sodium, potassium, 2-chloride. So sodium, potassium, 2-chloride symport is present in the ascending limb, that helps in the absorption of solutes or movement of solutes across the ascending limb. And the descending limb, it contains the aquaporine channels, and that helps in the movement of water. So it is permeable to water only, and this is permeable to solutes only. So with this introduction, we go for how this Henle loop acts as a multiplier of the osmolarity, how it multiplies, how it increases the concentration of the osmoles or the solutes in the medullary interstitium. So this portion we take it as medullary interstitium. Now we will explain how this Henle loop acts as a multiplier of the osmolarity. See, the thick ascending limb, I told you, it is permeable to solutes. So the solutes are reabsorbed in the interstitium and they are entering into the interstitium. So sodium, potassium, 2 chloride, they are moving into the interstitium. And because of the movement of solutes into the interstitium, the interstitial osmolarity is increasing. So the osmolarity of the medullary interstitium increases. And because of the increase in the osmolarity of the interstitium, so this will act like a pulling force, and this will pull the water by osmosis from the descending limb, because the descending limb is permeable to water only. So since water is moving, the solute concentration will be increasing in the descending limb, because the solutes will be entering from the proximal tubule into the descending limb of Henle. That is always happening. So this solutes entry is constantly taking place and water alone is moving, and this increases the solute concentration in the descending limb. And the third one is this increased solute will move into the ascending limb, and when it comes to the ascending limb, they will be reabsorbed into the medullary interstitium. Now again the solute concentration will be increasing. Because of this, again the water will be moving in, again the solute concentration will be increasing in the descending limb also, and this increased solute, when it comes to the ascending limb, it will be transported into the medullary interstitium. Again the medullary osmolarity will increase, medullary interstitial osmolarity will increase, keep on increasing. Okay, so by this way there is a multiplication of the solute, there is an increase in the solute concentration in the medullary interstitium, making it as high osmolar medullary interstitium. So when you put the values, say the osmolarity of the urine coming from the proximal tubule is 300 osmoles. So initially there will be 300 osmoles, consider 300 osmoles in all the segments, in the descending limb, in the ascending limb, and also in the medullary interstitium. As I already told you, first there will be movement of solutes from this ascending limb into the medullary interstitium, and then there is a movement of water from the descending limb into the interstitium. So because of this movement, the solute concentration will be increasing in the descending limb, and with this increased solute concentration will move, and again the solute will be reabsorbed into the interstitium. So the picture will be, after 6 to 7 cycles, what happens? There is a change in the interstitial osmolarity. So the interstitial osmolarity will be changed because of constant reabsorption from the ascending limb, and this will be the osmolarity of each segment. In the descending limb, this will be the osmolarity, and in the interstitium there will be a gradient of osmolarities created, 600, 800, 1000, 1200, a gradient will be created, and always because of the movement of some solutes there will be a concentration difference between the ascending limb and the medullary interstitium of 200 osmoles. So it will be less only because the solutes are moving, so it will be less. So this is the final picture how the medullary interstitial osmolarity is created by the Henle loop or the countercurrent multiplier. So just go with the anatomy, revise anatomy, where this is the structure of the nephron, where this is the proximal convoluted tubule, this is the Henle loop, and here we have the gradient of osmolarity created in the medullary interstitial fluid. So same exists here also. This is the medullary interstitium. So this entire portion is medullary interstitium, and above we have the cortical, and the gradient will be created in the medullary interstitium. Now this created gradient is maintained by the vasa recta. So vasa recta is a specialized peritubular capillary running adjacent to the Henle loop, running adjacent to the loop of Henle, and this is the vasa recta. Now what happens? The vasa recta is also having a descending limb, the ascending limb, okay, and it contains the blood. So blood is flowing through the descending limb and going with the ascending limb. And what happens here in the descending limb, here descending limb is the solute will be moving into the blood in the descending limb, and water will be moving out of the descending limb. And in the ascending limb, water will be moving into the ascending limb, and the solutes will be moving out. Again, these solutes will be moving out into the medullary interstitium. So ultimately, the solutes which are moving into the descending limb are moving out from the ascending limb, and the interstitial osmolarity is maintained. So there is no much difference. But if the blood flow is increased, because it receives only 5% of renal blood flow, if the blood flow is increased, there is a chance the solutes are washed out. So there is a chance the solutes will be taken. So the blood flow is slow, also it is very little. So there is no change in the medullary interstitial osmolarity. So it is maintained by the structure vasa recta, which is called as the countercurrent exchanger. Now, I told you in the pre-CT, the osmolarity is similar to the plasma, say 300 milliosmoles. Okay, and when it is going to the descending loop of Henle, where water alone is reabsorbed, the urine will be an hypertonic urine. That is, the solute concentration will be increased. And when it is moving up in the ascending limb, solute will be moving. So the urine becomes hypotonic. And in the distal convoluted tubule, the urine is more hypotonic. Here also some sodium chloride absorption is taking place. So it is more hypotonic. And now when the urine is flowing into the collecting duct, to start with cortical it is around 300. Here it will be around 100 only. It is more hypotonic. And when this urine is passing through the collecting duct, two things happen. One is the presence of aquaporins. So these aquaporin channels, they respond to the ADH hormone, antidiuretic hormone, and the medullary interstitial osmolarity is the next factor that is going to cause the movement of water through the aquaporins under the influence of ADH. So water will be moving out into the medullary interstitium. So this causes concentration of the urine. And another solute. So here we talk about the sodium potassium chloride. That is a major solute. That is around 60% of the osmolarity of the interstitium, and remaining 40% is contributed by the urea. So what happens when water is moving? The urea concentration will be increasing. So urea concentration will be increasing. So this movement of urea, what happens when the urea is moving more? This will increases the medullary interstitial osmolarity. Again, the medullary interstitial osmolarity will be increased by urea, and this again favor more water reabsorption. So one is the ADH influence that causing the water movement into the high osmolar medullary interstitium. Other one is the urea which is moving into the medullary interstitium. This movement of urea is done by the urea transporter. The urea transporter are acted upon by the ADH. So ADH acts on the aquaporins causing movement of water. ADH also acts on the urea transporter causing movement of urea. So urea added up to the medullary interstitial osmolarity, and this will also enhance the concentration of the urine. So the final the urine maximum concentration ability of the urine is, the urine can attain about 200 milliosmoles. So 1200 milliosmoles. This is the maximum concentrating ability of the kidney. So this much it can concentrate. So to sum up, the countercurrent mechanism is consisting of two mechanisms. One is countercurrent multiplier, that is done by the Henle loop. Other one is the countercurrent exchanger, which is by the vasa recta. And the action of multiplier is to multiply the concentration of the solutes so that the osmolarity of the medullary interstitium is increased and it is more. So high osmolar medullary interstitium is created, and this was maintained by the countercurrent exchanger. And here you have to remember two factors for concentration. One is the antidiuretic hormone and another one is the high osmolarity of the medullary interstitium. So this is the summary of the countercurrent mechanism. Thank you.